Where are some of the spookiest places? If you're looking around behind me, here, but not here. I'm Nathan, musician, spent 13 years in the funeral profession. Please forgive the mess. It's actually your fault because of your support. We're actually doing a massive renovation, reconstruction, construction project of the studio. Thank you. Bear with us just a little longer. Hey, just show up, right? We're going to talk spookiest places. Be sure to follow right here, subscribe, and click the bell so you can be notified when I release new content. Again, thank you for the support. Spookiest places? Have you heard of the, I can't say it properly, Trans-Allegheny Asylum? That is in West Virginia. Okay. 1800s, this place is built. In the 1800s, there's none. Let's just be frank. There is nothing as far as knowledge about mental health. There's not conversations about anxiety and depression. And so if you are said and pinned to be insane and you're sent to this sanatorium, there were 240 beds where 240 people could be taken care of. By the 1950s, this place was taking care of 2,400 people. Their methods in the 1800s were considered, because of their lack of knowledge, barbaric. When you go and visit, you can pay for a ticket and do a haunted tour. You couldn't pay me. You couldn't pay for my ticket, pay me. No. You hear screaming and laughing and yelling. There's tons of people who have witnessed things. I would haunt the hell out of that place too. It's good to be educated. Again, in the 1800s, they didn't understand mental health. So their barbaric methods, if you believe in ghosts, are probably they're a factor in why it's so haunted. Resurrection Cemetery, Justice, Illinois. It's right outside of Chicago. There is the Vanishing Mary. Mary apparently appears. It's a woman who's buried there, not to be confused with Mary in the Bible. And as Christians, that's not what I'm comparing whatsoever. So I'll clarify that. The other is the hitchhiker. There's a hitchhiker that apparently appears near Archer Avenue. He's the hitchhiker of Archer Avenue. If you wish to see a Vanishing Mary and a hitchhiker appear, tons of people have experienced it, then you want to go to Justice, Illinois, hop, skip, and a jump right outside of Chicago. You can go to Resurrection Cemetery and you can go there. No, thank you. No, thank you there. Savannah, Georgia is said to be one of the most haunted cities in the United States of America because there is so much history there. It's beautiful, but it's eerily beautiful. At nighttime, there is a cemetery called Bonaventure Cemetery. There is a little girl that's buried there. 6-year-old Grace died, and there's this beautiful marble monument. It still has this wrought iron gate around it, and people will put hair bows and toys, and it is said that people can still have experiences with not only her, but there's also a crypt that is still empty from grave robbers. Back in the day, grave robbers would be a thing, and they would dig loved ones up, take jewelry on them, take any prized possessions that were buried with them. If I was dug up, I would haunt the hell out of that place too. Absolutely, without question. People have witnessed and seen apparitions. If you want to be scared, you can go to Bonaventure Cemetery. You can go to Savannah, Georgia, and you can visit the grave of Grace, a little girl. It's arguably the most famous grave there at the cemetery. Savannah, Georgia in itself is a beautiful destination, but if you want to add a little spook, go there as well. And last, but certainly not least, is the Waverly Hills. You heard of Waverly Hills in Louisville, Kentucky, right outside of my hometown. It's my neighbor, basically. It was a tuberculosis hospital. It was so massive. This hospital still stands. It was built and finished in 1910, and it had a body chute. It cared for so many people, and tuberculosis was such a contagious disease that the people that worked at the hospital, they had to live there. It had its own zip code, post office. They would put the loved ones down the body chute. Whew. paranormal investigators have gone. Tons of people have gone. You could pay $1,000 to stay there overnight. No, thank you. You could pay for a tour. Yes. I know someone that took someone on a date there. Crazy first date. Got to give them thumbs up. I would never go. Not just because on a first date, but ever go. People hear screaming and banging, and it is a very haunted, eerie, gross place. If you're into that kind of thing, why don't you drive to the heartlands? Well, Louisville, Kentucky. Louisville's beautiful. Kentucky's beautiful. You can enjoy some greenery and some scenery and then go and scare the bejesus out of you. There's some of the spookiest places in the United States during this here spooky time, spooky season, Halloween. Do you remember Halloween when you were a kid? You were like 10. Your parents were like, see ya, never. It's like you go with a pillowcase, you fill it with candy. You might or might not come home, but they weren't scared until you didn't come home. Nowadays, they have all these cars parked in illuminated parking lots with all the lights on, and everyone's sitting in a trunk of their car, and they're handing candy to their own kids. I'm not faulting it. I'm just saying the times have drastically changed. I wouldn't send my 9-year-old out by himself like my parents did to me. It's like, okay, bye, guys. See you never. All right, that concludes. Let me know in the comments below if you remember going trick-or-treating in that way. And also, if you have been to any of the places I mentioned, let me know in the comments below. Would you want to go there? Hell no. Don't invite me. I'm not coming. Be sure to subscribe right here. Click the bell to stay notified when I release new content. And thanks for following me on all the other socials in the description. They'll be linked. My single yet, number 15 at radio. Don't want to say goodbye. All right. We'll see you soon.